What's the title? Linear functions. So if we're thinking about the word linear, what do you think the word linear means? If you do know, you can tell me, but if you don't know, the word linear means line or straight line. So when I see the word linear, I think of straight line. So there's two things that we'll talk about, a linear function and a non-linear function. So a linear function is anything that's a straight line. Non-linear function, we have like the thing that's kind of a U shape. It's called a quadratic function. That would be non-linear because it's not a straight line. So let me get to the vocabulary. Okay. So I'm in the Big Ideas Math Journal on page 66 if you would like to take notes with me. So the first word is linear equation in two variables. So it's an equation that can be written as y equals mx plus b. Where our variables are y and x, and then m and b are constants. Meaning that x and y will change, but m and b will remain the same. That's why they're constants. So y and x will change, or can change, and then constants stay the same. Do I need to zoom in? That's kind of hard to read. Okay, that is as far as it zooms in. Next up, we have linear function. So a linear function is a function whose graph is a non-vertical line. And it has a constant rate of change. So this is vertical. This line right here is vertical. So non-vertical would be like this, or like this, or like this. That's what it means by non-vertical. So a linear function is a function whose graph is a non-vertical line, comma, with a constant rate of change, and it has two variables. Okay, so what that means is a constant rate of change. Remember in our equation y equals mx plus b, m is our slope, and that's our rate of change. So if it's 2, that means it's constantly changing by 2 at each point. So that's what it means by a constant rate of change. And then it has two variables, meaning it has a y and an x. And a non-vertical line, so it's not straight up and down. It's horizontal, or it's slanted like one of these. Okay, and then our last vocab word is nonlinear function. So it's does not have a constant rate of change, and it's not a line. So a nonlinear function would be like a quadratic, which looks like this. So that's our graph. And then let me get a different color. The quadratic looks like this. It's like U-shaped. So it doesn't have a constant rate of change. And as you can see, it's not a straight line. So the other words we won't necessarily use. Okay, we'll do this one. Solution of a linear equation in two variables. That one is just meaning that it's an ordered pair x comma y that makes the equation true. So a lot of things will answer, a lot of the stuff will answer in an ordered pair. So x comma y that makes the equation true. So like 1 comma 1 could be the ordered pair, or 3 comma 1, 2 comma 1. But the solution just means that if you plug it into the equation, both sides will equal each other. So I don't have an example off the top of my head, but we'll talk about that more. So moving along, I will take a picture of the notes and post them if you would like to take them on your own. But some examples here are, so it would be like, is it a function, or is it linear or nonlinear? So looking here, this is in the book on page 68. Looking at graph number 1, is this linear or a nonlinear function? Why is that so weird to see? Let me turn the lamp on. It's like the grid lines make it kind of hard to see. Okay, so is this a linear or nonlinear function? So is the rate of change constant or not constant? If we're looking at this, it starts off not constant and then it flattens out. So this is nonlinear because there is not a constant rate of change. But then if we come over here and look at this line, is this linear or nonlinear? This is linear because there is a constant rate of change. We can tell that if we start here, it goes over 1 and up like a quarter. Over 1, up a quarter, over 1, up a quarter. So it's constant. Where this one, we go over 1, up 1, over 1, up a quarter, over 1, up 3/4, over 1, up a quarter. So that's not constant, where this is constant. Does that kind of make sense, guys? Basically, it's linear or nonlinear, meaning it's a straight line and constant, or not a straight line or not constant rate of change. Okay, so then today's assignment is pretty simple. It's going to be using a website called desmos.com. You might have heard of it before. It's a free online graphing calculator. So I didn't assign it yet. Where is it? Okay. 3.2, edit assignment, 10 points, assign. Oops, no, I don't want to post it in 5th period yet. Just 4th period. Okay. So what you're going to get is a Google slide for your assignment. Everyone gets a copy of it, and then you're going to go into it. So 3.2, linear functions. So complete this assignment by graphing on desmos.com. Insert a screenshot in the following Google Slides. So you're going to graph a linear function, a quadratic, an absolute value, and an exponential. And then you're going to take a screenshot and post it in here. So I'm going to open up a new tab and go to desmos.com. And then what you can do is, I've made it easy on you guys, is you just come in here and you can pick any of these and copy it. And then, so you'll come in here. I'm going to do y equals 3x minus 2. So I'm going to copy it. And then I come to the Desmos website. And I want the graphing calculator. So if you go to desmos.com, it'll look like this. You'll click graphing calculator. And then it takes a second to load. And then you're going to come over here to the left side where there's these lines. And then you're going to paste in the formula for a linear function or a linear graph. And then it'll look like this. And then in order to screenshot, if you're on a Chromebook, I think it's Control and then the button on the top row that's like a square with 3 lines next to it. Do you guys have that button? So you'll press Control and then that square with the 3 lines, and it'll take a screenshot of your page. I don't have that. I have another thing that I use called Snipping Tool. So that's going to load in just a second. So I'm going to take a snip of it, but you guys will take a screenshot. And then you guys, it'll save to your Google Drive. And then you'll come back to the assignment. And then right here, you'll, in this box below, insert image from Google Drive. Mine is just copy and paste. So I'm going to paste it. And then you'll fit it to look to be in the box like that. And then that's all you have to do. So you just have to do these 4 different 4 different graphs, insert a picture, and then turn it in. So pretty simple. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, so you have the rest of today to work on that. So 15 minutes, so you should be able to get that done. If you need help, let me know. But yeah, that's all. And then on Thursday or